Welcome you all. I am Gauri from KIT Kalina Karnanidhi Institute of Technology, working as an assistant professor in the Department of ECE. Now I am going to present a topic about sensors in IoT. So what are all the topics? So what is meant by sensor? Then introductions about sensor. Then classifications of sensor. Then at last conclusion about sensors. Before that, what is meant by sensor? So it's a device that converts a signal from one form of energy to another form, that is electrical domain. So in this, what are all the sensors we are using is ultrasounds, RFID, then leakage levels, for example gas leakage level we can find out, temperature sensor. So in this temperature we can find out the temperature, how much temperature is calculated, then humidity or moisture sensor, then sound sensor, chemical or gas leakage we can detect it, then proximity sensor we can find out the position, then vibration sensor, and at last acceleration sensor. So sensor is a device voltage source. So in this we can give some physical quantity input device input data. So we can taken as output signal. So the one form of energy converted to electrical signals. So the sensor act as a convert one form of energy to another. So physical quantity to electrical signal. So there are numerous definitions. So sensor is about input device which provides an output signal with respect to specific physical quantity. Signal will be respect to physical quantity. So the input device definition is a part of bigger system which provides input to main control system like processor or microcontroller. So in the sensor, we sensor data and its input to the another main control, whether it is an Arduino board or microcontroller. So these are the examples of types of sensors. So here all the sensors are using color sensor, gas sensor, then LDR sensor, proximity sensor, ultrasonic, IR receiver, water flow sensor, PIR sensor, rain sensor, heartbeat sensor, IR sensor are two types, transmissive and reflective, touch sensor, humidity. So we will discuss briefly about here. So these are the 15 types of sensor in IoT, detailed pictures. So in this, first the several classifications of sensor made by different authors and experts. So some of them are very simple and some are very complex also. So the following classification sensor already used by an expert in the subject, but this is very simple classification, basic classifications of sensor. So the first classifications of sensors, they are divided into active and passive. So the active sensors are those which require an external excitation signal or a power signal. And then also passive sensor on the other hand, it does not require any external power signal and directly generates output. So active sensor require external power, but passive sensor does not require any external, directly generates the output response. So the next classification is based on conversion. So the input and output, some of the conversions phenomena are photoelectric, thermoelectric, electrochemical, electromagnetic, then thermo-optic, etc. So the analog sensors produce the analog output, that is, for example, continuous output signal, usually voltage, it likes a resistance, etc., with respect to quantity being measured. In digital sensor, in contrast to analog sensors, it works with the discrete levels. So discrete or digital data. Discrete means zeros and ones. Then analog signal means it continuous waveforms like values, numbers and values. In digital, it is used for conversion and transmission, is digital in nature. So here are types of sensor. in this temperature sensor, most common and most popular sensor, the temperature sensor. So it names such as sense the temperature, that is it measures the changes in the climate. Then proximity sensor, so it's a non-contact type sensor, but that detects the presence of object. So if any objects means it can detect in particular distance using different techniques like optical, infrared or laser, sound, ultrasonic, magnetic Hall effect, capacitive, etc. The IR sensor, infrared sensor, and light based sensor, that is used in various applications like proximity and object detection, used as all mobile phones. Then light sensor, so the light sensor also known as photosensors are one of the most important sensor. A simple light sensor available today is the light dependent resistor or LDR. So the property of LDR is the resistance in inversely proportional to the intensity of the ambient light. That is, when the intensity of the light increases, the resistance decreases and vice versa. So the smoke and gas sensor, so one of the very useful sensor in safety related applications day to day life are smoke and gas sensor. Almost all offices and industries are equipped with several smoke detectors which detect any smoke due to fire and sound and alarm. So it can if any fire means it can detect and sounds and alarm, called smoke and gas sensor output. Next, alcohol sensor. So the alcohol sensor detect an alcohol. Usually alcohol sensor used in breath analyzer device which determine whether a person is drunk or not. So the law enforcement personnel uses breath analyzer to catch drunk and drive culprits. Here the touch sensor. So we do not give much more importance to touch sensor because they become an integral part of our life. Whether you know or not, all touch screen devices, mobile phones, tablets, laptops, etc. have touch sensor in them. Color sensor, useful device in building color sensing applications in the field of image processing, color identification, industrial object parking, tracking, etc. So in TCS 3200 is a simple color sensor which can detect any color and output is square wave proportional to the wavelength of the detected color. Humidity, if you see the weather monitoring system, they often provide temperature as well as humidity data. So the measuring humidity is an important task in many applications and humidity sensor help us in achieving this. Tilt sensor, often used to detect inclination or orientation. So the tilt sensor are one of the simplest and an inexpensive sensor out there. So tilt sensor are made up of mercury, sometimes called as mercury switches, but most modern tilt sensor contains. Sensors are central to industrial application being used for process control, monitoring and safety, are also central to medicine being used for diagnostic monitoring, critical care and public health. Thanks.